Let's take stock of the football situation in your country. Your national team, your federation, the president has left the program. The coach, it's over. Have any names already been mentioned for the succession? And when will we know for the future coach and for the head of the federation, but especially the coach that interests us?
Yes, well, there are a lot of names. Well, the coach, he goes with the president like Gattuso. He goes with Gravina. The elections are on June 22. June 22, sorry. And there's even a match before against Greece, a friendly match on June 7, to play that one. Yes, two teams did not qualify for the court, and it's a friendly match that he's going to coach. The coach of the Wolves 21, it's Silvio Baldini. Is he a character who will need to be in a friendly match during the World Cup? No, June 7th? I don't know if the World Cup is June 1st. June 1st, June. Right, I thought it was just before June 22, so it's before the start of the World Cup. Is that it? Yes. No, the friendly's on June 7th. The third game is 4 days before the World Cup kicks off. Okay, there you go. And the elections are on June 22nd. That's the date they chose. I don't know why. And there are a lot of names. In fact, after the elimination, we keep talking about it. Even the coaches before and after the matches of this championship tour, they ask them, what's the problem with Italian football? What should we do? What should we do? No, one person says, I don't know, a plumber, or I don't know, I don't have any ideas. But they all have ideas. We have to do this. We have to do that. They all have names. And so first there was a man for the president who had made a fool of himself. He's an 82-year-old gentleman who was president in 2014. Apparently the protests of people on social networks and also of journalists have been able to rule out this name that was very close to the Gravinas. So the people would like, the people would like Paolo Maldini, the former my player who was a manager. He also did well Milan. Someone also mentions Roberto Boo, because it's a bit of a question of nostalgia too. These are great names, prestigious names, but these guys have what it takes to lead such a federation, especially after getting bogged down in such a crisis. But I think Maldini has the character. Yes, but we need to have ideas because there are a lot of things to change. Then there are precisely all the possible reforms. They say that there aren't enough Italian footballers in the teams. Today there was a match like Udinese where there was only one Italian player on the pitch. This is the league where there are fewer players of the same nationality, even fewer than in the Premier League. And it's still a paradox because in the Premier League it's the champions and in our country. Not necessarily. And he says that there aren't enough young players. That's also quite true. But so he always thinks about rules. We have to force young players. We have to force Italians. And that, for example, is not possible because we are within the rules of the European Union. So we can't, there is the free movement of workers, so we can't force it or put a limit on the number of or German players. I don't know. And so there's that. Then there's the question of why. There was a rather funny and bizarre interview with Spalletti, who said, well, I think that in Italy there are always women like Matilde Baggio, Fioratotti, Bruna Del Piero, Apis. Basically, he knew all the numbers of my footballers. I don't know why. It was quite strange. But what he meant was that these are the players in Italy. But why don't we make them play football? There are really a lot of reasons. It's not possible to summarize them now, but these are the ones they're focusing their attention on. Motu. Basically, Carsa Skyport. This is part of the Federation's reports from 2022 until the last report in 2025. The problems of the dispersion of young people. That is to say, they say we have talented people because we win. Since 2018, we have reached 6 finals with the youth teams, and we won Euro in 2019, and we reached a World Cup final. Thus, they claim that players exist, but we are struggling to into the early teams. I think that's not really true because if we look at the names of this team, there are no great players. There's Posito, they're the best, and Zilli. And I think we win. We reach the final in these competitions because the best of other national teams like France, England, they are already in the first team. And so there you have it. We're talking about that. We're talking about the coaches, of course. There are also the names. There's depressing if you want, I told you, but it's Congelegri, the two who are playing against each other now, and Roberto Mancini, too, because are they ready to give up
their team, their salary, to go into a mess like this? Well, we'll have to see later. That's a question.
I think Allegri, no, because Allegri is at the beginning of his career at Milan, and I think he's doing well there. I think he doesn't want the pressure. And Coach already coached Italy. He did very well. We have very good memories of Euro 2016. And I also think that maybe he's a good coach. I wouldn't be unhappy if he were the coach of the Italian team, but he's not the one who's going to change Italian football. It's true that structural changes need to be made. We've always talked about playing football in Italy, which costs 600,000 euros per child, in fact. We don't have players from the south of Italy because there's also a when it comes to football. The federation struggles to recruit and develop players uniformly across all regions. So there are a lot of questions. But as usual in Italy, we're looking for easy solutions. And that's a bit scary because...
Otherwise, there are fields that will be available after the World Cup.
No, but you know what? You know the names of the most. The names of the most, and I'm happy, but they're two pretty crazy names that they've come up with. There's Bielsa and Filippo Gugal, the former Milan player. He did it well. It's funny. And Adani, the commentator from Italy, also writes about De Corrales, Di Sera. He talked about Guardiola, but he talked seriously about Guardiola as if it were something impossible. You see, if we talk about Guardiola, it means that we are far from really looking the problems in the eye.